Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming. We have a Wolf sighting. We got David McNiner and No Border Sports down at the bottom as well. And you know who I am. I'm Bryant, and we appreciate for coming. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. We got a good show. So first off, Wolf, how you doing, man? It's been a little bit of time, but we know we've seen you in passing.
I'm doing good, man. A lot of time constraint these days. So much so that I can't have a channel anymore, but I definitely tap into you guys and it's tough, but I just got to do what I got to do for now and then we'll see how things go. Looking forward to football season, man. As usual, it can't get here soon enough. So, I'm excited about
Well,
all that.
I gotta stop before you say anything else or anybody else. I wouldn't say that you can't have a channel anymore. So maybe the next time we do this, like we could do like our four guys right here. Maybe the next time you could just throw your stream out and we'll be streaming with your channel. But you got a lot of good support behind there. Like you're somebody that we all want to try to get to, and we appreciate you coming on. So let's not say that the channel is over. Let's say it's on hiatus for a little while because again, I know there's
Yeah.
gonna be some good nights when it's gonna be like Thursday night and we're gonna beat the Seahawks. It's gonna be like Thanksgiving and you're gonna want to go live and you're like, my boys are where? And you know how to send out the bat signal to me and David and Ryan. So again,
Yep.
thank you for coming on. David, how are you? And then we'll go to Ryan real quick.
I'm good. It's been a good week so far. It's starting to get hot though. You know, it's about it.
Yeah, it's getting hot. How are you doing,
Yep,
Ryan?
I'm doing good. I just got done with like a 10-hour editing of a 5-minute video, which will be out on Saturday. But yeah, kind of relieved after getting all that done. Holy moly. Time consuming. Oh, you're muted.
That definitely sounds like it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch. I'm looking forward to that. I am. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
when you put
Debo
that many hours into it,
Debo
it's gonna be
Samuel hype
good.
video, baby.
So, really appreciate everybody coming. Let's. I got a couple questions I know I want to ask Wolf. I know David does. I know Ryan does. So let's pass it down to Ryan first. And Wolf, I mean, we haven't had you for a while, so we want to hear how you're thinking. All right. So, Ryan, do you got any questions for Wolf?
Yeah, let's break into the 49ers having negative 20 rest days compared to our opponents. And how also teams like the Chiefs have just as tough a deficiency essentially, and teams like the Jets have got like 20 extra. You know what I mean? Do you think? First of all, I want to know if you think there's a conspiracy and that they're pulling strings to kind of not script it, but to kind of make it do what they want by just luck. You know what I mean? You kind of just setting up a perfect storm. And how do you think the 49ers overcome this?
Well, for one, the 49ers don't have a choice.
No.
I think with, if you start getting me into NFL, conspiracy theories, I could go down a rabbit hole. I don't like to do that too much. I kind of want to take it as it is, but um, it was the Chiefs are the one of the only ones that has an even worse rest rest day schedule, right? The Chiefs have worse than the 49ers. And
I think they might have it. I think it's like 23 days, I think, negative. I'm
the
not sure.
Jets were the one you said have the best
I
one,
think they're
right?
like plus 18. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. So the Jets basically, from what I remember, they're gonna have basically every game is gonna be at home, basically. Uh
Or in the state of New York.
yeah, basically, yeah, that's exactly what it was. But as far as the 49ers and the NFL, I think the NFL is kind of trying to keep it fair, whereas the 49ers had one of the most lenient, if not the most lenient, in terms of rest days and all that stuff. Like our bye week hit at the perfect time. Like everything was scheduled perfectly to favor the 49ers. almost all season last season. And I think the NFL was just trying to keep it fair this year and kind of flip flop that. I could be wrong. Could have just been, luck of the draw, just the way things played out with us playing. What's the division? The Browns, the Ravens, and the Steelers, right? The Steelers.
East?
Bengals. That's the other one. I forget. That's the AFC East. You said?
I don't know. I that was a AFC East question mark.
So the rotation of the division we're going to play, I think, plays a big role in it as well. And I don't know if there was really any way around it. Last year the schedule was very favoring. I thought it was pretty. What's the word for it? Convenient, I guess the word is. Last year the schedule was pretty convenient. This year I think they made it inconvenient, and I think hopefully that means next year is going to be even more convenient. Only up from here. Uh-oh, where'd Brian go? You guys got any thoughts on that?
Yeah.
All right. I'm right here. I'm just enjoying the chat, talking to Steve. Appreciate you being here and letting Ryan ask questions and David. And I'm really actually ecstatic. I mean, it's Wednesday and we got WolfCast, like NinerGang WolfCast, so yeah, I'm really happy. So yeah, Ryan, if you want, if you got another question, if not, we'll go to David. And then...
Are you going to convert your channel over to a wildlife gaming channel? Oh, no. I thought that's a great name for it. Wolf Life Wild.
No, that's my old channel when I used to do catch and cook videos.
Oh,
I just don't have time for any channels right now. Yeah. I really don't. You guys might think I'm being a little dramatic, but I really don't have any time.
No, I was thinking more like, when you go fishing, in your off time, to kind of get away, what I mean? I didn't know if you were just going to sit there with a GoPro, you know what I mean? Because
that's basically what I was doing. Yeah, that's my old channel. That's the one basically that I always use. The NinerGang one is just what I use for 49ers stuff.
Gotcha.
No, definitely know you're a busy man, and we also know things change, and sometimes like you get you obviously have built a very nice platform. Don't let that go, even if it's just on hiatus, because those people are still sitting there watching you, waiting for you. And again, we all here believe that we helped get you there, and we all are super ecstatic that you're here now, because we have talking to you. So even if we can't get you here all the time, we do like having you here once in a while. But don't delete that channel. Don't do anything, because if the Niners win the Super Bowl, we want to hear from WolfCast. We're going live right there. So real quick, let's jump to David. I know we all have questions, but David, what do you got? Do you have any questions for Mr. WolfCast?
Do you guys have any thoughts on what me and Ryan were talking about right now, though?
Well, when it comes to the minus 20 rest days, that's straight up going to test our depth,
Yeah.
And the health concerns that our team has had since moving to Santa Clara come up. It is very concerning being minus 20 on the rest days, because we need all the rest we can get.
Yeah. That's a great point.
I think Kyle's going to have to figure out how to spread the ball around as far as like the running back room. Because having Christian McCaffrey doing short weeks and even just having the workload 24/7, he's not going to make it through the season. You know what I mean? I wouldn't expect him to. So we've got to be able to trust the rest of the people in the room, and that might also be in the tight end room also. We got some young guys that came in, look like they want to play this year. I'm not saying they're starting material just yet, but there might be times where you need to put them in and let them learn on the job. So either later on in the season, they can take over for Kittle, whether he's hurt or not. You know what I mean? And just give him some time off, because you've got somebody who you can use in his place to make sure he's really nice and healthy for the playoffs, if we can get there. You know what I mean? I
a good point.
feel like we will. I just, I'm not going to be like, oh.
I do want to see these new tight ends. I wanna see
Yeah,
them in
baby.
action.
Oh, I was thinking something the other day. Okay. So, we come out in the 3 tight end set, right? And so everybody's expected them there to be on the line or, maybe spread out. Well, if you got check and you got Braden Willis, you put Braden Willis and check in the backfield. Now you got 2 fullbacks who can run routes out of the backfield.
In the pistol.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, just either that or imagine what you could do. Have this guy, one guy go out like this, the other guy. You could just do some crazy stuff to make people go, "What the hell is going on?"
Yeah.
Oh, we got Joe Stevens in the chat. I don't know if you know Joe Stevens yet, Wolf, but it's a homie of ours. He's a Seahawks content creator.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yep.
That's cool.
I
Brian,
actually
any thoughts on that?
Made that graphic for him.
So the long period of, or the short period of breaks, the 20 days and stuff like that, that is a little bit alarming. But, the Niners seem to figure out a way to maybe sneak in like a little bit more rest if they go and like stay like in Youngstown or, like the Greenbrier or something like that. We do have a couple of games where like the Vikings, I think it's that game. We're back there playing the Cleveland Browns, and then we go play the Vikings. So it's like you can see them shaving off a little bit of time, but still jet lag is jet lag. Or, if they're traveling on a bus, you still don't get to completely stretch out. It's not, but, then if you're driving to practice every day too, it's kind of like, so as long as the guys get to stretch a little bit before the game and stuff like that and get to walk around the hotel before, I think it could happen. I know the Seahawks have the most traveling time or the most traveling miles. I think we're second to that, but I still think we got like a little bit of an advantage of as long as our ownership is saying, okay, we have a game plan, like we're going to plug in right here for a little while and then we're going to move over here, because I don't see them coming back and forth. That's my thoughts on it. So.
Yeah, it's true. That kind of brings up a point I was thinking about earlier today with Kyle Shanahan, the way the 49ers have been starting these past couple seasons, 3-5, right? And do you want to continue what you've been doing to kind of just start the season out slow and ramp up towards the end and roll into the playoffs with that momentum? Or Kyle Shanahan, do you change what, the kind of systematic coaching you've been doing to where you want to start the season hot and treat these preseason games with more, I guess, animosity, you could say. What do you guys think?
Well, I think being in football shape, actual football shape, you can work out all you want, but playing a game, is different than the workouts. It's different than practice, and being in football shape to start the season is something I think we've been lagging in, because it seems to take us till literally mid-season to get in mid-season form,
Exactly.
And it would be nice to start out hot, not necessarily hot, but at least warm.
Yeah.
Last year's cold start cost us the number 1 seed.
Exactly. Thank you. That's what I was going to bring up.
So my thoughts is it all has to do with the offensive line. Remember, we were like, oh, the offensive line last year, it was atrocious. You know what I mean? In the start, the season. Mm-hmm. Well, we weren't able to do much because the offensive line wasn't good. Well, it wasn't good. It's just they weren't cohesive yet. They didn't have the same groove. And I think Kyle needs to just kind of be basic in the beginning and stuff that they've done over and over again. That doesn't take all this meticulous, game planning. I think that's the best way to do it, and then slip things in there. You know what I mean? And that's
what she said.
Yeah. I just really think there's
Brian.
there's simple plays that work most of the time, and we got guys who can run downhill. So something like deuces, it's something we could do. It's just power run game. You don't have to get all clever with that.
Well,
And that could be handy because then we can use the crazy plays to really confuse people because they've been getting all monotonous going downhill, getting used to just going downhill. Then you do a crazy play and they're like, what's going on? And then by the end of the season, you're doing more of your crazier plays. And then if you need to, you can just come out and man up and go head to head with somebody and work power because you did it all in the first beginning of the season. You kept on going with it. So to me, I think he should figure it out by just kind of dumbing it down a little bit for the guys on the offensive line so we could get a little more production. Because it seems like no matter if it's a pass play or a run play, the drives are stalling because it's just getting blown up because people weren't where they needed to be at the right time.
That's true. I think especially with having Trey Lance back there, man, I think he's going to help take a load off the offensive line a little bit and throw some screens to Braden Willis. I'd like to see that, right?
Let's just have Lance throw the ball instead of just running it all the time. Jesus.
Yeah, well, I think that's why I bring up screens is because, gassing out the opposing defensive line, that type of stuff, and getting our offensive line some air, I guess you could say, taking some pressure off them where they literally don't have to block. But yeah, as well as Trey Lance being a running threat, getting out of the pocket, play action, that type of stuff is going to help. Which is, I'm looking forward to Trey Lance as a quarterback, man.
David, I got a lot to jump into, but I want to give you, it first. So I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna wait. But what do you got?
Well, let's talk about the shiny new kicker.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Robbie Gould, yeah, he's reliable from 39, 40 yards in, but there was some point in time during the season where Kyle's going for it on 4th and 1 and in that weird spot because he knew that Robbie Gould wasn't reliable from that yardage out. So like the what game was it? Was it the Commanders where Brock Purdy kind of threw an arm punt, INT? It was more like an arm punt than anything,
To Brandon Ayuk up the sideline, up the right sideline.
Yeah. I think it was against the Commies.
It was like a fourth and long, basically.
Yep. Yeah. But it's like now we got a guy that is, reliable from 50 in, 50 out. I don't know many kickers that are reliable 50 out. Let's be honest here, right? But, we got a guy that can hit a 47, 48 yarder, so we're not necessarily going to have to be going for those. And, there's some controversy about where we picked him. But at the same time, look at what happened. Look what the Patriots did. They traded up 14 spots, and they picked Chad Ryland, at what was that? Pick 112. So that just shows you that there was noise about teams looking at kickers and wanting to pick a kicker. The Packers picked a kicker in the 6th round, I believe. What up, Big Mac?
Yo. Yeah, man. I'm glad you brought that up, dude. I love that pick. I know a lot of people were talking shit about it, but across the NFL history, how many times have kickers determined the outcome of games? How many times have fans? How many times? Yeah, exactly. How many times have fans in big games been crapping their pants because it's all leaning on the kicker because the offense couldn't get it done? Okay, we don't really have that problem. We have a really good offense, but better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Robbie Gould, if we keep Robbie Gould, that salary cap space we have right now, what is it, 10.3 million? That's gone. That's out the window if Robbie Gould is here, right? So then we can't use it for a mid-season acquisition or even off-season acquisition, right? Not only that, we got a cheap young kicker that we didn't let slip into somebody else's hands who looks super reliable, who's been in big games. I love the pick, man. I don't know how much I can rant and rave about it, honestly. He's over here kicking over the damn net already.
Hey, bro, third round pick. Everybody's tripping on it. It was late third round, early fourth round. And you're talking about day one starter, hopefully. You know what I'm saying? He's still got to compete. He's got a guy there, but I'm pretty sure Moody's going to bring it. And yeah, I don't understand why people are tripping so much. I do, but they obviously look. The 49ers have made their bed. Whether they needed to draft a right tackle in the third round and they didn't, they've already decided against that. So there's no going back right now. And they feel that they have the guy on the squad. They felt that same way about Jake Brendel last year. We were all tripping. And guess what? It worked. So I just got to shut up. That's what I'm saying. I just had to shut up, and I'm thinking some of you guys should take a page out of my book when it comes to this. Just saying.
Go ahead, Brian.
So I really have been listening to everybody. You guys already know I'm a kicker kind of guy. We know that, right? So I don't need to say much more after that, right? But I've listened to a lot of arguments, and like it was a early fourth round pick. It was a third comp pick. It's like a free pick. And then, there's been a lot of other good conversation and good, discussion, just like Brian said, me and him, we talked a little bit about it too, about the guy's basically going to be a starter out of the draft pick that we have. So that's pretty cool because if you look at our team, we only had the weakness of a kicker. That was our most sought after position of need, right? We did have Zane Gonzalez, but the guy did tear his groin last year. So I'm like super excited that Jake Moody or a kicker got picked, but my guy Joe Stevens, Ryan's guy, David's guy Joe Stevens, he's a Seahawk fan. He brought up a good point, and he said if we would have had a first round pick or a second or a third, and this was just a third round comp pick, would anybody be mad that we took a kicker? And I think right there, like, boom, like we took him at 99. It doesn't matter who was taken before that. We took him at the position that we could take him at. And sure, we could have taken other positions and stuff like that, but we did take those positions later on. We took 2 tackles with our undrafted free agents. We took running backs. So I'm like really excited. I just think, the Niners, they got their thumbs up from Robbie Gold. They said, hey, this guy is who I think you might take a chance on. So I'm not mad at it. And I'm actually really, again, tickled or ecstatic that they took a guy that I was like, take him, so maybe they really are listening. So.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt too. I was like, man, they better get Jake Moody, not let him fall to anybody else. And then as well too, like you're talking about with the first round pick, of course, if we would have had a first round pick, it's probably going right tackle, right? But we didn't. And what kind of day one starter are we going to get in the third round? 49ers are really good at drafting other positions in the later rounds. I don't think we've ever seen that for right tackle or any tackle, right? I mean, I might be wrong.
I had a strategy that I thought of is every year with our first round pick, we should trade back. We should trade with somebody for their next year's first round pick, right? They give us a comp pick, all that, right? We get, maybe a fourth, sixth, or some packs in there. And we just keep doing that every year with our first round picks. We load up on the people, where we hit them all the time. You know what I mean? We could load up on those picks, pick from the cream of the crop of our, people we really hit on. And then, oh no, nobody wants to trade back with us one year. We've got 2, maybe 3 first round picks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There you go.
I would say yes, but I feel like we're going to run into hiccups with, being a win now team and going all in. And then, of course, guys like Grant Cohn are going to be like, this is your time to win right now. Why are you not going all in? The Rams showed you how to win a Super Bowl. Go ahead.
If you've got all these guys, the higher the draft pick is, they'll count on your top 52 or your top 51 at the cap. So on the top 51 paid players count against your cap. So if you have, round one players, they're going to hit that number, which like Jake Moody didn't hit it. So if you would have got, if we kept Robbie Gould, he would have, our cap would probably be at like, I think 6 mil right now, because it would be that much more over essentially the last place person. And for us to sign our rookie class was less than $1 million towards our cap. So you know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
yeah.
Shout out to Jason Huntley. He's the one who taught me all that.
Hurley,
David,
Jason.
You've been quiet for a minute.
Is he thinking of the aunties?
Am I thinking of the aunties? No.
Did you hear the nickname I gave him?
Not at this point in time.
No, it was David the Auntie Slayer.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I've been dubbed. Yeah.
David the Anti Slayer. Hell yeah. Let me find out. Oh no. You got any thoughts on that?
Well, so we're talking about we're talking about the kicker, the draft pick still, right?
Well, yeah, and then Ryan was kind of touching on, kind of game planning ahead of time.
We do so well in the late rounds, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like Spencer Burford. When it comes to right tackle, there are the unknowns. We do have McKivitz, and he filled in for Trent Williams admirably in 2021. We didn't see much of him last year, but it's we had McChokeslammed at right tackle, and Brindle, and a lot of people didn't even like the Aaron Banks pick. There were a few people that didn't like that pick because he didn't win the job, and he got redshirted his rookie year.
Wait, say that again. You cut out for a minute.
Oh, I did.
They didn't like the what pick?
The Aaron Banks pick.
Oh yeah. Not a first, yeah.
And it ended up working out. He's pretty good. He didn't make the Pro Bowl yet, but that could be coming.
Wasn't Aaron Banks a third rounder, or was he a second?
He's a second. He was a second rounder.
Yeah, and see, that's what I like about the Niners. Sorry if I'm interrupting. Just I do like that. Hey, we couldn't move up to get a right tackle, but we have veterans, right? We got Feliciano, McKivitz. Who else? I know there's another one.
Matt Pryor.
Okay.
We got Matt Pryor. But we got like Nick Zakel. He played tackle in college. And he could step up and take it from McKivitz. It's hopefully they do the right thing and, take a page out of Bill Walsh's book. Open competition for every starting position.
Yeah.
Everybody have at it. There you go.
I'm looking forward to Zakel, man. Just like I've talked about before, how me and Larry Kruger were ranting and raving before the season about Brock Purdy. If we could trust his eye with quarterbacks, hopefully we could do the same thing with offensive linemen. Him being a professional NFL scout, then Zakel is going to be somebody to look for, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I know Marcelino McCreary Ball is another one he mentioned, Big Play Tay. So all those guys that he's really been calling out by name, like consistently, really looking forward to seeing those guys. So like Big Play Tay as well. Him and what's the other guy they just got? The big guy. Bell? Is it Bell?
Yeah, Ronnie Bell in the 7th round from Michigan.
That's the big wide receiver.
He's 6'3", I think around 200.
I wouldn't say he's big.
I heard he was like a tight end frame, kind of like Jawan Jennings. Really big wide receiver. No,
he's just ornery, and he can catch, like he can catch. He could get he's got wiggle at the top of the route, I guess. You know what I mean? He's a guy. He's not going to blow you away by all the physical attributes.
Yeah.
But he gets it done. You know what I mean?
He's got great hands, though. That's what I heard from rookie minicamp is he's got great hands.
He's the other guy that's kind of like Juwan Jennings in a way, right?
Yeah.
Or I might be mixing him up with somebody else.
No.
Hey, let's face it. Juwan Jennings, this is his last year, with us, unless we extend
as far
him.
as reliable third down
point.
reliable third down guy, this is probably a Juwan Jennings type.
Okay.
Now, as far as I'm going to put you in the ground, mucker, that is not him yet. You know what I'm saying? Like he might beef up a little bit and be able to do that in a year or two, but that's not the man yet.
Yeah, man, that's why I brought them up. So Big Play Tay, and I guess it is Ronnie Bell, kind of lighting a fire under Juwan Jennings' ass, which is actually kind of unfortunate because he's been pretty damn cheap for being third in Juwan. And this might be his last year because they might, kind of beat him out for the price.
Yep.
What are you guys seeing? Because I don't know, man. Debo, that contract, Juwan Jennings, as vital as he's been and consistent as he's been, I don't know.
Dude, I've actually been saying that, I don't know if we're going to be paying Ayuk and Debo.
Exactly.
And, Ayuk's kind of a more pure receiver. Debo does do things like run the ball out of the backfield, which, it's okay. We have Christian McCaffrey, though. We have a stable of running backs. Let's not kill the man.
Yeah, cute story.
But at the same time, I don't know if we can figure out, this is a Prague issue, I think, right? That guy, our salary cap guy. But I don't know if we can pay two guys.
Think about this. How do they always backload the contracts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this last season was Debo's cheap year. Okay.
Yeah.
This year will be Debo's, either expensive year or right. And his next year will be the same or more, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what will they do at the end of this season after they've already paid the second year, but the big, money? They're gonna pay Brandon Ayuk really cheaply the first year. And remember, how long is Debo's contract?
3 years.
3 years. So there's 2 years left on it.
Yeah. So that would make sense because then you could even let Debo walk at free agency and still have Brandon Ayuk on the payroll at that point in time with a Debo type contract.
That's true.
And I'm not saying you let Debo walk. I'm just saying, like, as the numbers add up, if you're going to allot that much money or that portion of the cap to a wide receiver, you can do the same with, you know what I mean? You just,
I think we should definitely get something for him if we're going to let him walk. So I would extend him if I could, but it's all going to be based on the performance he has this year as well.
Yeah.
Right. If he comes in as lackluster like he was this past season, he's not worth that money. So maybe extend him. I don't even think because, I've also heard, it's in Debo's best interest, and I'm sure he just wants to have that short contract so he could get paid his money and hit the free agent market again. I don't think in his style of play that's even in his best interest because his stock might just plummet. If I were him, I would just take the contract extension if it's on the table.
And especially if he gets, another injury that kind of, leaves him in a way where he starts thinking, hey, I don't know if the next one might put me out. You know what I mean? A peace of mind of an extension might be exactly what he's looking for instead of, braving the open market and finding out maybe nobody's interested. You know what I mean? Especially for the price that you're looking for. So
I've been saying, so if we traded him this year, it's not a thing that we can do because there's a $28 million dead cap hit if we did.
Yeah.
But next year, that number dramatically drops. So if it's going to happen, it's going to happen next offseason. And I honestly could see, the Miami Dolphins, pulling something like that.
Oh yeah, they would.
Yep.
They would. Yeah.
Maybe the Texans, D'Amico Ryans, maybe. Right?
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know. I think he'd really like to go to Miami over everybody, just for the fact, because it's the same kind of system. You got Mike McDaniel, which he likes kicking. Who wouldn't? You know what I mean?
Same kind of system they had when they had Garoppolo,
which
is when Debo thrived, was under Garoppolo. Similar type of quarterback, just left-handed.
Yep.
What's up, Brian?
Well,
are you putting your finger up on your own channel?
No, I was like, no, good point.
I want to get in here real quick.
No, I threw it up like good point. Definitely good point. And I've been muted because I was typing. But no, I think with the amount of wide receivers we have, we might have like 11 or 12 officially on the books. I'm a big A-Ray guy. I like him a whole lot, but I could see him being a cap casualty, even though he's supposed to be here for one more season. I could see Juwan Jennings getting cut, even though he's supposed to be here, as well. I'm going to take a big shot, and I'm going to say it. Somebody like Danny Gray could get cut.
Yeah.
If we were to cut somebody with a third round, if we cut somebody like TDP, Trey Sermon, third round running backs, then nobody's safe. So that's why I'm throwing it out there.
Juwan wouldn't get cut though. At least he would be traded.
I could see the value of trying to trade him, yes. And he's going to be like a very low price for another team to sign. So I could see him getting traded. We might get a 5th round or a 4th round pick for him. So
for as cheap as he is, man, I don't think anything's going to happen to Juwan until next season.
Yeah.
But
when it comes to Danny Gray getting cut, I mean, do we have another fast guy that can take the top off the defense? Is that Tay Martin guy? Is he incredibly fast? I know he's tall.
That's the question I had.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. You're good.
That's what I've been hearing. Is there's been a couple. Sorry, then. There's been a couple guys coming out real quick in camp that they're kind of excited about. I don't know the guy's name, but he's supposed to have short legs and a really long torso. And
that's the guy from the XFL.
That's what I was going to ask. How fast does he run?
Dragons.
You guys know?
He's supposed to be very exciting, what I've heard in the little reports that I've had. So again, with like us having 12 guys in camp, I wouldn't be surprised to see some of these guys that we had last year not make the team. But yeah, sorry, David, or then Wolf, go ahead. That's what I wanted to say.
No, you're good. I wanted to ask a question on what his 40 time was, because I know he's an explosive playmaker out of the slot, right? But there was a guy.
He thinks he's best used outside. So someone asked him, how do you see yourself being used? He's like, I'm better outside. And the reason being is because he's got space to kind of get away from the guy, and then he just turns on the jets and cooks them. Yeah. You know what I mean? And not to say he wouldn't be good in the slot from time to time. You know what I mean? If there's things you could cook up, have him in the slot and break him to the outside to where he could use his speed on a slant and somebody in the way as like a screen, hit the ground running without even having to worry. But who knows? He's
Danny
like
Gray being in the system. So Danny Gray being in the system for a year, and now with Trey Lance having the opportunity to be the starting quarterback to start the season, that is such a blessing for Danny Gray, man. Those two guys, that tandem, man, with Brandon Ayuk, that guy, what's the guy from the XFL? Do you guys remember his name?
It's a mess. It's not messed up, but it's spelled.
Yeah. It's not a common name.
It's not common, bruh.
We have a lot of those this year, like Kalen Laybourne. It's kind of a tongue twister. Kalen Laybourne. That dude too. I know you kind of brought up the running backs earlier and taking it easy as far as workload goes. honestly, if we say Kalen Laybourne this year, that's probably not a good thing. As much as I want to see what he's got from the trends that we've seen in the past, that probably means some of our guys are hurt. So,
You know who I do want to see though? I
hmm,
really want this guy to make the team.
Jakur Pearson.
there you go. What's up, Brian?
Yeah, that's the guy's name, I believe, for the wide receiver.
I just
But
told you it was. Don't mess with
who,
me.
who I would really like to see make the team is Jake Colito, the Oregon
Oh,
Duck. Oh my gosh, he's like a fullback, tight end. He's a
that guy's
quarterback.
practice squad.
I hope he makes the team. I could see him replacing Juice, even becoming like our Taysom Hill. I think if we cut one of the wide receivers, he could, or maybe they'll put him on the special teams to stash him on the team. I'm
If
really
he can
excited.
play special teams, then I'm down. But other than that, I don't see him making
He can, he can play everything. This dude's an offensive weapon.
Doesn't mean he can do it well. You know what I mean? The way people need him to do it. You know what I mean? Right now. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these guys can't on our team because our team is stacked from years of stacking the deck and grooming people to be great at what they do. So
yeah.
Yeah, as
I'm
much
just
as I
really,
love,
I'm
go
just
ahead.
really excited about the guy. I've seen a little bit of clip on him, and I think
you only
if
get to be right about one person this year, and that was Jake Moody. Okay.
I failed with DTR. I got this close. I almost had two in a row. But yeah.
We interviewed him.
I know,
Yeah.
man. I thought we were getting him too. So DTR, and then yeah, no, I mean you're right about that though, man. Because with Juszczyk, he takes a huge hit to the cap for a fullback, man. And so, would I want to see him go? No, but I would like to see some of that cap space freed up because at some point we are going to have to pay a quarterback. So who's going to go? Lakers Nation.
Hey, by then the cap goes up. Well,
Not that much.
and maybe by then Trent Williams also, decides to retire because he's getting old. I mean, there's the team's not going to stay together forever.
Yeah.
We all know that,
Yep. But
and you
you're gonna have to
can't
end
build
up
a
playing left
dynasty.
tackles.
You can't build a dynasty with 44-year-old players. So when it comes down to it, you got to reload, develop, and just keep going. And that's actually what we've done pretty well, I think, since Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch have come in.
Yeah.
Because we're not. I mean, a lot of people are like, "This is your window. You got to win now." You realize a lot of the core of our team isn't that old.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to it, no, we don't have to, but it would be great, winning the chip this next year. That would be so great because all these guys that go, "Oh, you haven't won since 1994." All right, what do you got now?
Yeah.
You like that one?
How you like me now?
Oh, see, it's
How
the
you
wrong
like
finger
me
too, so
now?
you can't get me in trouble.
You want to fuck on
Game in the
child?
system over here. Got you, YouTube.
Gotta keep your eyes
Hey.
on the prize. So
Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys, man. Good to be with you guys and see you guys too, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we went live real quick. We didn't get to promote it too much. Maybe next time we'll have a couple of days a little bit more, and we'll promote it everywhere we can because again, you got a big content following. People are always asking, "Hey, what are you doing? Have you seen him? Have you heard from him?" And I gotta say, yeah, I know he's still kicking. He's still alive. I'm not Kyle Shanahan. I can't guarantee tomorrow. Or no one's him, right? But we're definitely we try to keep communication between the two of us, and I really do appreciate you coming on again. I'm just kind of excited. I really am. One, you're here, and Niners, we got a lot of good players coming. We got some quarterbacks right now in camp. I really do see them keeping Sam Darnold and Brock Purdy and Trey Lance. And that's where I think it gets interesting. I don't see them rushing Brock Purdy in right away. I see whoever is doing best, Trey Lance, or potentially Sam Darnold comes in for a reason because he gets something bad happens. I think they're going to roll with it. I don't think they're going to rush Brock Purdy in until he's ready. But I really am excited to see Trey Lance because if he comes
Yeah.
in and he just can play like what we all expect him to do, I know we were talking earlier about his mobility and stuff. I don't want to see him get all mobile. I want to see him play from under center. I want to see him play as a quarterback. I want to let him see CMC play. I want to see him let his tight ends run out. Let's just let him get comfortable throwing. There was reports about his finger, and I think it's his middle finger that was cracked.
Index.
Okay, so it was his index. Okay,
Yeah.
but it was like a hairline crack, and then I know that happened against the Raider game, I believe it was, and then he played the preseason game. Then he played the Cardinal game, and we're all like, "Why is he running so much?" And then he came in later in the season against the Texans. But if his finger was cracked for a year, that makes sense. Like, because I kind of said it, I want to see the guy be able to throw the ball to Kyle Juszczyk 10 yards out and not oversail his head. So if your finger is broken, then there's an excuse right there. And maybe that's why the Niners haven't been sweating it so much because they knew like he was out there doing the best he could. So again, I'm very excited to see Trey Lance. David, let me give it back to you because that's what I got excited there.
Well, so Sam Darnold, as long as he goes and sees an exorcist, he might be all right. But Trey Lance has been in the offense. It's time to let the man be a quarterback. Let's not run him. Don't call the RPOs. If he needs to use his legs to extend the play and be a thorn in the side of the defense, let's see it.
Exactly. Off script.
But let's call. I mean, when Kyle, when a lot of people are talking about the difference in offenses, and last year we saw him, running the ball a lot, and that's something I don't want to see.
Yeah.
But the difference in Kyle's offense, his plays, if you actually watch the tape, he was calling more mid to long range throws for Trey Lance than he was for James Richard Garoppolo or Brock Purdy. Jimmy's a term of endearment, so
I'm really
he's not
curious.
a 49er anymore, so
I'm really curious to see how that pans out for Garoppolo over there, man.
Oh, dude, he goes to play. So, Josh McDaniels, what has he done in the NFL so far? Nothing.
God,
trash.
He's a good coordinator, and now he's got his QB that knows the system, and they have Davante Adams, right?
Yeah.
But how are you going to utilize Davante Adams with a quarterback that can't throw it past 25 yards?
Arm punts. Go up and get it.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be that ought to be interesting. How the Raiders season plays out. I mean, we'll see. It's going to happen, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's I don't think there's a whole lot of DBs in the NFL that could beat Davante Adams on a 50-50 ball. So I'd be testing them out a lot if I was Jimmy Garoppolo. Go up and get it, Davante.
Yeah,
do what you do, boo-boo. Yeah.
Hey, you remember Lenore? A lot of people are like, "Oh, Lenore got cooked by Davante Adams." The only thing I got to say is,
5'10".
name me a defensive back that didn't.
Dude, no, and that's not even the thing. He wasn't even getting cooked by Davante Adams. He was right there with Davante, just getting beat at the catch point.
Yeah,
but he was on him like White was on Rice. He just was getting beat at the catch point, that's what a wide receiver is supposed to do. And how tall is Davante Adams? Like 6'4" versus a 5'10" Diamador Lenore?
Yes, that's true.
Something like that. Davante might be even taller than that. I'm not sure. That's not even counting wingspan. Goddamn.
I'm really excited to see what Jimmy does on another team because I'm not a Jimmy hater, but I'm so glad he's gone. I see the limitations that he had for our offense. There was magic there was Magic, and then guess what happened? The Magic got hurt. It fizzled out. Whatever happened, the ACL in 2018, we should have cut him then. But too late. Everybody bought his jersey, and they wanted to see him come back, right? Well, then what
Yeah.
happened? 2019, we come that close to winning the Super Bowl. You could say it was refs. You could say it was the missed throw. You could say whatever. He closed his eyes and threw the ball. There's no exception to that, right?
Hmm.
So then 20, he got hurt on the Jets field. I mean, like, that's just horrible. We lost Bosa and him, and then it's just one thing after another, and it precedes the 49ers. He got hurt in New England. So sometimes you have to say, hey, you're great, but you can be great somewhere else. You've been hurt. You came to our team. You showed you got hurt again. So I am very excited to see the Raiders go to, let me go there, because I have a lot of Raider fans that give me a lot of crap about them. And it's really funny because, like, Karma is, we know what Karma is. And she has a sister. She has her sister, and her sister's name's Becky. And you better remember, she's coming for you. So you got Jimmy now. So take that, Raider Nation, and hopefully he can get you some playoff wins or something. But I don't know anything after that. It would be very funny to see him go somewhere and, dare I say it, to the Super Bowl and win it. That would be really horrible to see it as a 49er fan. But for the Raiders, I mean, hey, they haven't done anything in like 35 years, 40 years. So, yeah, it would be neat to see them do something, right? But no, that ain't happening. We know who Jimmy is. And we play him week 1. And I think that's what's super exciting because
In the preseason. Yep.
Is he going to play one series? I think he'll at least play one series. It's
No.
kind of hard not to see him play at least one series. So, if he throws a pick, yeah, they're sitting him down real quick. I know that for sure. So,
I will laugh so hard if Fred Warner picks his first pass off. I will laugh so hard.
it could happen. It could totally happen.
Yeah.
We know him. We know who he is. So, I think that's a lot of fun. But I said it the other night. My Super Bowl prediction, Wolf, is the Niners versus the Jets. Do you have an early prediction for the season?
Let's get past the NFC Championship first, but 49ers, Chiefs, or Bengals?
Okay. Ryan, do you got an early prediction? And I think David, I think I asked you already, but I like hearing it again.
I think 49ers Bills.
Ooh, yeah.
Two teams that have been knocking on the door, got really good teams, and haven't been able to get there and win it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good.
Mine is also the 49ers and Bills for the same reasons Ryan said.
I want to say that. I really do, because the Bills, I feel like, I mean, that was my prediction before this past season, right? But I think the Bills are taking a step back this year instead of a step forward.
They might be.
I think this past year was their year, and they just fucked it up.
Blew it.
Yeah.
And is that, dare I say it, because Rodgers is in New York now?
I don't think the Jets are going to do anything with Rodgers. I don't think he has it anymore. But I could be wrong.
Time will tell. Yeah, we'll figure that out pretty soon, especially in New York.
Maybe wanting to stick it to LaFleur, that type of stuff, winning outside of the Packers, but he only won one Super Bowl with the Packers. And how long has he been with them? Over 20 years? So
the one thing I would say is I think the Jets have a better defense than he's ever had in Green Bay. So maybe compared to the one Super Bowl he did win. So that's like they got a top 3, top 5 defense at this time right now.
Didn't they have that in 2019 though?
The Jets or the Packers?
Didn't they have a really good defense in 2019? The Packers. When we played them in the NFC Championship.
They might have had a good defense, but not as good as the one that
maybe on paper.
Yeah.
See, that's always the thing.
Well, so Aaron Rodgers just went to the AFC though. You got Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, an up and coming Trevor Lawrence, which we still don't know if he's going to be, it or not. Although the guy did throw 5 picks and came back and beat the. I was going to call him San Diego. The Los Angeles Chargers last year. In
I
the
think he's
playoffs.
going to make it. I think he's going to make it. I think he's going to do good. He's not there yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
But
now
I think he's
they
gonna do
have.
good.
Oh, I forgot to throw in Russell Wilson, but we all saw last year, so that's why he didn't, get added to the list.
That's what I was going to bring up. But Rodgers does have a better team than Wilson did this past year, and I'm going to call my shot right now and say the Jets are getting knocked out in the divisional round.
Woo!
But they make the playoffs. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think they win week 1 of the playoffs, get knocked out in the second round.
You heard it here, folks.
Calling my shot.
All right, I got a joke real quick. I got a
What's
joke.
up?
I'm dropping it.
Okay.
And then we'll do a round table, tell everybody how we're doing, where you can find us. But yeah.
75%.
All right, for the people out there, do you know the player that has lost 75% of his spine? All right, I got 2 more jokes before we get out of here, folks. So, stay tuned.
I'd like to solve the puzzle.
So we'll.
49ers for 200.
Oh man.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know the
Can
answer.
anybody say how thankful they are? Like we didn't get somebody seriously with an ACL injury or a Trent Baalke pick. I mean, I know Bell from Michigan, but he's recovered. He's playing well. So no more Trent Baalke. Thank you. Right?
Yeah. True story, man. Everything's sounding and looking very promising as far as draft and undrafted free agents. We just got to see it on the field now. We just got to see it translate. But a lot of those guys probably won't see the field this year.
I'm wondering how many of them make the team, because we do have a good football team on the field. Out of the rookie free agents, their best chances, would be the running back room. And Terrell Davis-Price, he needs to show up. He needs to earn his job. Don't be Trey Sermon, buddy. Don't be Trey Sermon.
He got playing time this past year, man. And, Kyle Shanahan, those second-year players, they get a lot more playing time the second year around. So him and JP Mason are going to be up there. They're going to have the leg up on Kalen Laybourne.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I have trouble with that name. Kalen Laybourne.
And Ronald A. Watt. And
then where in the pecking order is Elijah Mitchell going to fall?
That's a scare. Elijah Mitchell is a good running back, but the fact that he can't stay on the field, is our offense would have been amazing if with both him and CMC on the field,
bro.
And he even missed he missed the Eagles game because of a groin injury from running out of bounds instead of staying in bounds. It's kind of a, bonehead play at that point because we needed the clock to run, But the guy needs to stay on the field, And at this point, I don't see us re-signing Mitchell after he's done with his rookie contract. He might even be, dare I say it, before the trade deadline, he might be a Miami Dolphin.
Oh my gosh. So what do we do with J.P. Mason?
Run him. Give him the ball.
Run him.
Jesus, let's
go. Dude, he looked pretty explosive last year. We all saw that 55-yard run against Seattle.
He's good for 6 a clip.
So we keep CMC, then we keep TDP we cut TDP, right? We keep JP Mason and we keep Mitchell until the trade line. And then we're going to pick up a rookie, right? Or are we going to keep him rookie on that?
Probably. Oh well, hopefully we're able to stash a Watt or what's the other guy's name? Le what? It's something
Leborn.
French.
Laborn.
Leborn.
Laborn.
Leborn.
But yeah, hopefully we're able to stash one of those guys on the practice squad. And it always seems like there's always going to be a Tevin Coleman sighting if he's a free agent, right?
Oh,
Oh my gosh, him or
Well,
Dante
that's the thing.
Johnson, right?
He can pass protect.
That's the thing with all the hype, man. Just like there was with Brock Purdy last year, the 49ers knew he wasn't going to make it through waivers, right? So I was like, oh my God, you guys better not let Brock Purdy go through waivers. Can you guys imagine where we'd be right now if Brock Purdy went through waivers? We never would have had him.
Yeah, that's true. They didn't even take the chance. They kept him on the roster. Dude, we actually kept Trey Sermon made the 53 and then got cut the next day.
Yeah.
It was like, what did you guys even do that for,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with Kalen Laborn, man. Is like, okay, what do we do with him? Because I think TDP is going to be favored because of being in the system for an entire year. He got to see playing time in the first year. I think that speaks volumes about, what Kyle Shanahan thinks about him. He wasn't the most explosive, but the fact that he got playing time in his first year, like everybody was hooting and hollering to get JP Mason on the field, but TDP touched it first. Now, how much of that is roster politics because of where he was picked? That's the other thing. So I don't know. I think Kalen Laborn is going to end up going through waivers. Hopefully he makes it, but I wouldn't bet money on it.
Yeah, whichever one, I don't know the name of them. I'll look at, but whichever one's the fast one, like Mostert, we need to keep him. We need to keep him. So I could very well see like TDP, getting cut. That wouldn't be nice for him. But I know JP Mason, he played on special teams last year, so that's why he got into the game a little bit last year. But yeah, he had a couple of plays that were really explosive. We wanted him to score, but because the game was at a certain point, we needed him to stop and burn up the clock. But all right, guys, I got a joke, 2 more jokes. Let's this one's a little spicy. It's for after night.
God.
I didn't hear the answer to the first one.
It was in the same thing. You said you had 2, and now you told 1, and now you're going to tell 2 more?
Yeah, I didn't get the answer to the first one.
But
the player that was missing 3/4 of his spine, a quarterback.
Yeah, he's a quarterback.
Oh my God.
All right, so we've only run about an hour. I want to drop this because I think it's kind of funny. And again, thanks for coming, guys. We're having fun. I'm gonna put the links in the description for everybody's channel.
We got Aaron in the house.
And we got to pop in chat. I'm telling you, people are starting to come in just as soon as I want to close it out. But I did tell everybody we weren't going to go too long. So, Aaron, thank you very much.
What up, Aaron?
You're awesome, man.
Yeah.
So we got the big guns coming in now. So since Aaron's here, I got to drop the joke. And again, this is one of those jokes that's for after hours. It's not necessarily for the morning show. So it's not raunchy, but it's just one of those jokes. So I'll let you read it for a second, and I'll read it out loud, of course.
A tight end, 2 tight ends, and a wide receiver. That's a good one. I'm going to use that one.
Then I'm just going to leave it there. I won't read it out loud so much. But
a hooker playing football.
And yeah. Right. All right, so this one's my good morning joke, right? Old quarterbacks never die, right? They just pass away.
Oh no, that's good. Good stuff.
That one's a more friendlier joke. We'll end it with that one, of course. But again, thanks for coming. This is Wolf, NinerGang WolfCast. I think you've seen him before. We've all been there before. So if you want, please subscribe to his channel, No Border Sports, down at the bottom. That's Ryan, our guy. We got David McNiner over here in the corner. And we all have channels. We all do things together. We have fun. And appreciate you guys all showing up. Again, we'll see you guys here in passing. Go Niners, and stay faithful.
Niner gang.
Bang bang.
Go Niners and F the Lambs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Seahawks and the Cardinals and the Cowboys and the Eagles, especially the Eagles. Oh, we're still live?